Welcome to Dark Side of History channel, where the untold stories of the past come to life. So don't forget to subscribe and uncover the mysteries with us.
Seattle wooden pipeline construction innovation. Workers built a wood stave pipeline system in Washington state in 1900 to transport water across the growing city. This engineering project used traditional woodworking techniques to create large-diameter pipes from wooden planks held together with metal bands. The wooden pipeline represented early urban infrastructure that used local materials and traditional craftsmanship to solve modern city problems. Seattle Cedar Lumber Manufacturing Industry. The Cedar Lumber Manufacturing Company operated with large outdoor wood stacks for drying lumber in Seattle in 1919. This timber processing facility represented the massive logging industry that drove Pacific Northwest economic development during the early 20th century. The lumber mill showed how natural resources were converted into building materials that supported urban growth across America. Market shopping era characteristic packaging. Women purchased products with era characteristic packaging and brand displays during a typical 1960s market shopping experience. This retail scene showed how consumer culture and product marketing evolved to include colorful packaging and brand recognition systems. The market shopping represented the growth of consumer culture and the variety of choices that became available to ordinary shoppers. French Paratrooper Lebanon Memorial Service. A ceremony honored French forces who lost their lives during Middle Eastern operations in Lebanon in 1984. This military memorial recognized the sacrifice of soldiers who died while trying to maintain peace during Lebanon's civil war. The memorial service represented the international efforts to bring stability to the Middle East and the human cost of peacekeeping operations. Ice Cream Daily Consumption Campaign. An advertisement promoted the idea of having a bowl of ice cream every day to encourage regular consumption habits in 1921. This marketing campaign tried to make ice cream a daily food rather than an occasional treat by promoting its supposed health benefits. The consumption campaign represented how food companies used advertising to change eating habits and create new market opportunities for their products. Family television purchase home entertainment. A household bought their first TV set in 1965, making television the central home entertainment source with black and white broadcasts. This family purchase represented how television transformed American home life and became the dominant form of entertainment and information. The TV purchase showed how new technology changed family routines and brought the outside world into people's living rooms. Sophia Loren International Cinema Recognition. Italian actress Sophia Loren achieved peak fame during the 1960s through international recognition for her talent and commanding screen presence. This beautiful and talented performer became one of the most famous movie stars in the world and represented Italian cinema's global influence. Loren's success showed how European actors could achieve international stardom and influence world cinema. Ottawa School Classroom Reading Session. A Pleasant Park schoolteacher worked with attentive students during a December classroom reading session in Ottawa in 1961. This educational scene showed traditional classroom instruction methods where teachers read to students and encouraged literacy development. The school reading represented the importance of education and literacy in preparing young people for success in modern society. Warwick Davis Star Wars child actor. 11-year-old Warwick Davis rested during Return of the Jedi filming while playing the Ewok character Wicket in 1983. This young actor's participation in the famous science fiction film showed how child performers could play important roles in major movie productions. The child actor Brake represented the behind-the-scenes reality of making movies and the hard work required even from young performers. Wendy Carlos, electronic music pioneer. Electronic music pioneer Wendy Carlos worked with modular synthesizer equipment in her studio in 1979, blending technology with classical music composition. This innovative musician created groundbreaking electronic versions of classical music and original compositions using cutting-edge technology. The synthesizer studio represented how new technology could create entirely new forms of music and artistic expression. NYC subway commuter newspaper reading. Daily commuters read morning newspapers during their public transportation routine on New York City subways in 1963. This everyday scene showed how people stayed informed about current events while traveling to work in the busy metropolitan area. The subway reading represented urban life and how city dwellers used travel time for information gathering and staying connected with world events. Young woman peaceful cat moment. A peaceful moment between a girl and her pet cat near a trench or outdoor excavation area captured simple companionship in 1959. This quiet scene showed the special bond between people and their animal companions during ordinary daily activities. The cat moment represented how relationships with pets provided comfort and joy even in modest or challenging circumstances. Jane Mansfield family street walk. Actress Jane Mansfield walked with her daughter Jane Marie on New York streets in 1953, away from movie studios and the pressures of Hollywood. This family moment showed the private side of a famous movie star spending time with her child in normal activities. The family walk represented how celebrities tried to maintain normal family relationships despite the demands of fame and public attention. Circus performer Jimmy Armstrong rest break. Traditional circus entertainer Jimmy Armstrong took a rest break between traveling city shows in 1958. This behind-the-scenes moment showed the reality of circus life and the hard work required to entertain audiences in different cities. The performer break represented the dedication of traveling entertainers who brought excitement and wonder to communities across America. U.S. Forces French Liberation Celebration. American military members celebrated July 15th in a sidewalk cafe-like setting in La Haye-du-Puy, France, in 1944. These soldiers enjoyed a brief moment of relaxation and French hospitality after helping liberate the town from German occupation. The liberation celebration represented the joy of victory and the gratitude of French people for American sacrifice during World War II. German-American roller skating romance. A young German woman roller skated with her American soldier boyfriend in Frankfurt during the early 1950s. This cross-cultural romance showed how personal relationships developed between occupying American forces and German civilians after World War II ended. The skating couple represented how love and friendship could bridge national differences during the post-war Reconstruction period. Young John F. Kennedy student portrait. 22-year-old future President John F. Kennedy was photographed as a student from a prominent political family in 1939. This early image captured Kennedy before he served in World War II, entered politics, and became one of America's most famous presidents. The student portrait represented the privileged background and education that prepared Kennedy for his future role in American leadership. Frank Sinatra relaxed fan moment. Popular singer and actor Frank Sinatra enjoyed a relaxed offstage moment with admirers in 1943. This informal gathering showed the more personal side of the entertainment legend, who became known as the voice to millions of fans. The fan moment represented how major entertainers maintained connections with their audiences despite their fame and success. Bob Dylan family portrait peak fame. Musician Bob Dylan posed with his wife, Sarah, and daughter, Anna, during his period of peak cultural recognition. This family photograph showed the private side of the influential folk and rock musician who had become the voice of a generation. The family portrait represented how even revolutionary artists maintained traditional family relationships while changing popular culture. NYC student subway urban style. School-uniformed youth on New York City subways represented the urban style and attitude of their era in 1970. These young people showed how city students developed their own fashion and cultural identity while using public transportation. The student subway group represented urban youth culture and how young people express themselves within the constraints of school dress codes. Grace Kelly Hollywood career beginning. Future Princess Grace Kelly played a lead role in High Noon in 1951, marking the successful beginning of her Hollywood career. This talented actress would win an Academy Award before leaving movies to marry Prince Rainier of Monaco.